Hello, patchonestripe.com TV replacement parts. Your number one source for quality, hard to find TV repair parts. In this video today, it's titled, How to Repair Any Samsung Television. Yes, that's right, any Samsung television. These techniques that I'm going to show you, you can use these techniques on your lower grade Samsung all the way up to your high grade Samsung televisions. We're going to look at a no start. We're going to look at video problems. And we're going to look at the Wi-Fi. And we'll talk about the sound as well. So with that being said, glad to see you back with me again. We're going to go ahead and step on into this video. Okay, what we have here today is a Samsung UN40J5200. And I'm going to speak on no startup. The no startup with a Samsung and the way it's designed, the first move on a no startup is to disconnect this cable right here. Now disconnecting this cable right here, if the power supply is good, the backlight will come on. And when you, depending on the set you have, you can see the backlight from the front of the television as well as just little cracks where you can see little light coming through. You'll know the backlight is on. Now what we're going to do, the backlight is basically our test equipment that we're going to use to troubleshoot other parts of the set if necessary. Okay? And so if you don't get a backlight once you apply power after you disconnect this particular cable, well, that narrows down your problem to be a 50-50 deal. It could be this power supplies or it can be the backlights. Now, your backlights is becoming, it's a common failure, and it really depends on the grade of television that you have possibly and how much playtime your television gets over several years. But like I say, the power supply will fail, but that'll narrow down those two things for you. Okay? So let's move forward as if the backlight came on. Now we have to go farther into this television. So what I like to do now is, I know it's going back this direction now, the problem. So I like to plug this back up, of course with the power not applied when you touching this board, okay? And what I like to do then is, I like to take this cable off and apply power. And using the control button or the remote control, see if I can turn on the television. Now, if I go to turn on the television and the backlight come on, like I said, we're going to be using a backlight. That's going to be our test equipment, basically, you know, to say go or no go. So if I turn on the television using the remote and the backlight come on, that lets me know this board is good, power supply is good, the backlight is good, and this Wi-Fi is good. Now, I'm pointing down here and I'm saying the Wi-Fi is good. If this set does not come on, first thing I would do, I'd disconnect this Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi are notorious for shutting down Samsung televisions when they go bad. So in actuality, it would have been cool if I would have just disconnect the Wi-Fi, because we ain't got no TV, so we don't need no TV, so we don't need no Wi-Fi till we get the TV up. That's like an accessory. And this cable, which goes to the LCD panel. So once we disconnect those two, and the board and the TV powers up, and I get backlight, well, I need to go forward. So here's where the process of elimination come in at. We disconnect the power, and we could see if it's the Wi-Fi module shutting us down, or we could see if it's this panel that's shutting us down. Now this particular panel has the T-Con components built onto this LCD panel's printed circuit board. So just keep that in mind. So probably what I'd do is I wouldn't even worry about the Wi-Fi. I'd just keep it moving. So if this is with this connected, I'm getting backlights. Let's go to the important stuff first. We're going to disconnect the power again and reconnect this LVDS cable. And the LVDS, for those that want to know, is it's a low voltage differential signal transferring cable. And we're going to get into this for another problem just in a second. So once I connect this back up and I get backlight and a picture, because if all this is good, I should get backlight and a picture. So if I get backlight and a picture, well, this will be my next suspect right here. So I disconnect the power and I plug in the Wi-Fi. Now, if the Wi-Fi shut me down where I don't have backlight anymore, this will be your problem, the Wi-Fi module. Okay? So let's go back again. Let's back up. I'm going to take this apart. Now, suppose I had a T-Con board right here. Well, this cable going to the T-Con, and then on the other side of the T-Con board, I'd have two little short cables going to the panel. Well, here we go with a process of elimination. If I disconnect this cable and I got backlights, well, what I'd do next is I'd plug this cable, if I had a T-Con board, plug it back into the T-Con board, and on the other side of the T-Con board, where I have the two short flat ribbon cables, I'll take them apart. So you know what that would do for me? If I applied power back to this set and it shut down these backlights, I got a problem with that T-Con board. Okay? I'll have a problem with that T-Con board. Now, if that's not the case, it powers back up, well, we got an issue with the panel. The panel or some kind of component that's on the printed circuit board that's manufactured into the panel. Okay? And in most cases for your average consumer, well, it's beyond you at that point. You just have to call it a bad cable. Okay? So, next thing, I'll hook this back up. So next thing I want to show you all is, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we're having a video problem. Okay? So, if we're having a video problem, the video is produced on this board, and like I said, the LVDS cable is a low voltage differential signal transferring cable. So it transferred the video on down to the TCON board to the panel. Okay? So I'm gonna give you something that I've ran into lately. You have an all blue picture. Now red, green, and blue make up the complete color spectrum for a television. So it could be red, green, or blue. Solid picture, you see in video, okay? But everything just that solid color. Well, with the set unplugged, what I do is, for starters, before I get into just throwing parts at this set, I take this cable loose, and I look at these connections here and see if I see any brown spots or anything. I do this to both ends. Or I look on the cable, see if I see any kind of burnt spots or just bad places in it. And what I do is, I do this. I'll take it in and out a couple of times to kind of wipe these connections. A lot of times you could get a Q-tip and maybe some alcohol or pencil eraser is great. And just rub them down, go in the direction in which the connectors, the contacts are going, and that'll clean them as well. And I do that to both ends and reapply this. And you know what? It may solve your problem. Because sometimes over a period of time that you play the set, say several years, well, and depending on the environment that television is in, you may get some oxidation on those contacts on these cables. And it may just need to be cleaned off, you know, or, you know, you could have a bad cable. So going forward now, I just wanted to throw that out there for a video problem. And next, you know, you'd have your TCON board here. And a lot of times the TCON board will have several little miniature LED lights turned on when it's fine, in most cases. But anyway, with that polarized picture, which is, it's a polarized picture is a faint picture where you could, the color's faint, the video faint, and it's really, really grainy. This cable and this contact right here at this cable getting oxidized could cause those kind of problems. Okay? And this might solve it for you. Other than that, you have three options where your problem may be. It could be the board, or it could be this LVDS cable. You know, that would be my choices. You know, the TCON boards sometimes can cause video issues. So you've narrowed it down to 1, 2, 3 maybe. But do some simple stuff first. Do some simple stuff first. You know, a lot of people like to just, you know, sometimes just throw parts at things. I like to replace the part that's defective. Save me some money, and, you know, I feel good about that. Okay? Now, while we discussing this whole layout of this television, now you got 2 speakers here, right? Now, sometimes these speakers are pretty small, and if you don't have them connected to a sound bar or a sound system, you pushing these speakers pretty hard, and these speakers can fail. And for a no sound situation, what I would do, I would disconnect this cable that go to the speakers, and I would test them. I would test the say like this one here is yellow and black going this way. So I know my speaker here is yellow and the white right here. With a voltage ohm meter, just test and see if I'm getting 6 ohms. Because on average, that's what these speakers are usually, 6 ohms. And see between the 2 wires, am I getting 6 ohms? Same thing over here, because this wire here just simply bypass through here and go straight over here. So test this one as well. Now, if you're getting your 6 ohms, that's letting you know that your speakers are good. Now, if you test each of these speakers and you're not getting any reading, any ohm reading, well, the speakers, you done blow them out. Okay? Now, if the speakers are good, because like I say, let's do the easy stuff first. Let's check this out first. If the speaker checks out good, where your sound is on board this main board here. So you're going to need to replace your main board, okay? So you get control circuit is on this board to turn the TV on and off. Wi-Fi is on this board. Sound is on this board, and video is on this board, okay? Power for everything is on this board. Okay, remember that. So in the future, like I said, and I'm going to reiterate, first thing you want to do, take this apart, apply some power. If you're getting backlight, look at the front, you're getting backlight. The backlights and the power supply, 9 times out of 10, is good. Your problem is elsewhere. Okay? So, with that being said, and another thing I want to tell you all, I recently put out a video on cleaning these panels. You always want to put the cleaner on your rag and wipe down your panel. You don't want to spray it down and where the water run, because you got a control circuit down here. You got a printed circuit board down here that's full of components. And if any kind of moisture get on these components, you're done. Because you can't replace this printed circuit boards that's connected to your LCD panel. So you just be careful with that. You know, and because most of those cleaners, I don't care if it's a specialized cleaner, ammonia-free Windex, or just some good old dishwashing, or drop a dishwasher liquid in some water, you know, to just wipe it down. It's water. Water and electronics, electricity, it don't work out good together, okay? So, with that being said, I'm gonna close this video, and I hope you picked up a few things from me here. And remember, patchonestripe.com TV repair parts, we're your #1 source for quality, hard to find replacement part. So keep us in mind. And with that being said, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and everybody calls me anyway. So if you need me, call me. I'll help you. And with that being said, patchonestripe.com. If y'all been watching these videos, I'm always on the move. Gotta go. See you the next time.